Morning guys, stayed overnight near the Birling Gap where I was yesterday, and stayed in a little place called East Dean. Might have called it West Dean yesterday, but it's East Dean. Their car park's 23-hour stay, albeit no motor caravans and camping and fires and the like, but obviously with my stealth van no one would know I was there. Certainly wouldn't know I was in the back of the van anyway. So this morning I decided to go for a walk. I've left the van in that car park. I'm walking National Trust land over the Seven Sisters. I shall make use of all the restroom facilities that National Trust have got at the Birling Gap, and then loop back around and across the Seven Sisters, and it's absolutely beautiful around here. Okay, I'm up on the South Downs, One Tree Hill up there, and over in the distance is where I was yesterday, up on that lighthouse. I'm going back down to Birling Gap now, and then I'm going to take another coastal route right across the Seven Sisters in this direction. The South Downs here on top of the Seven Sisters truly are amazing. I know I've already said it half a dozen times, but this is just an amazing place for walking. Down in front of me is the Cuckmere Valley. Above is an aeroplane. Certainly be something I'd be interested in, is flying over the Seven Sisters. Right, I'm down in Cuckmere Haven, and I've just noticed this sign: walking time to Birling Gap along the beach is 3 hours, set off only on a falling tide. Now I've just checked the tides for Eastbourne to the east and New Haven to the west. It was about 11:30. It's now coming up to 1 o'clock. So I'm going to give it till low tide will be about 6, 5:45, but it gets dark then. So I'm going to give it till 2:45, 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to go for the walk along. Probably start a little bit earlier, and if I get held up I'll just have to wait. But yeah, 2:30, 2:45 I shall set off. Now obviously walking along a beach is quite hard work, but so is walking up and down the Seven Sisters. So anyway, it'll be a challenge. But for the next hour or two I'm going to explore Cuckmere Haven. Catch you in a bit. That's the direction I've just come from. Seven Sisters. From up there are amazing views of the Cuckmere Valley. And I'm now going to head to the river, and I'm going to have to go half a mile inland along the river to the bridge crossing. But I've got an hour and a half to kill before the tide's going to be at its midpoint and still a falling tide. So yeah, all good. I've just passed some tank traps. Over in the distance is a pillbox. I'm sure this would have been a primary area of when Hitler wanted to invade England in 1940, September 1940, Operation Sea Lion. I'm sure this would have been an ideal landing ground, and I'm sure it would have been heavily defended, but such was the might of the German army at the time, who knows. Thank God they didn't gain control of the skies, as from my video the other day of the Battle of Brill Memorial. That was all about protecting this country, maintaining control of the skies, without which the Luftwaffe couldn't defend its German invasion. Just come back from the bridge crossing along the cutout and just crossed here. It's partly submerged but still passable. There's only an inch or two in it. If the flooding was a little bit more, you wouldn't be able to pass here. But anyway, not far to go. It's about 2:15. I'm heading this direction and about to start the walk along the beach. Across this, because you have to walk best part of a mile down to the bridge and back up the other side. There's a steady old flow going through there. Okay, start of the walk. I'm underneath the Seven Sisters. Certainly not going to film whilst I'm walking. I know everybody likes to see a good triple fall on a video, but I don't want to be breaking my ankle. Third small inlet cove. Been a recent fall here. You can tell by the whiteness of the rock. So I'm not far into the trip. Let's get going. And there's the next bit, getting ready for a fall. Strange bit of rock. I'm sure the tide, when the tide's fully out, the other side of these rocks will be a shingly beach that could be walked along. That's what I'm walking along now, close to the cliff's edge. Not having to place stepping stones on the chalk boulders. Now the sign said 3 hours for this walk. I think that's going to be the worst case scenario. These are the bits that slow you down. The green is slippery, but it's all part of the adventure. Now up behind me looks quite interesting. Arch will eventually become a stack. Let's go and have a look at that. So behind me is an arch. Let's walk through. interesting rock formations in front as well. And the picture with the awesome backdrop. Every time I go round a slight headland or a new cove, I anticipate just being able to get the binoculars out and seeing how far it is. But such is the angle, I can never quite see. So that's where I'm heading, the final dip where the steps go up to Birling Gap, and I'm below these huge white cliffs of the Seven Sisters. First souvenir of the day. If I could be asked and have the room, they're worth some money, these things. I used to sell them in the marine business. Clearly hasn't been here long. Well, I've broken the back. I can't even talk. I have broken the back of that walk. Steps up ahead. That was hard work. It's a beautiful day. Sun reflecting off the white cliffs adds to the fatigue. Also the fact that I walked up and down the cliffs for a couple of hours earlier and inland for a couple of miles. I've just finished the last of my water, but I do know there are taps, a toilet block and a shop just at the top of those steps. And a nice sit down and drink of water is a must now, and the ability to just swill some water over my face and head and cool down. I'm not quite sure how long this walk's taken. Obviously nowhere near the 3 hours. Once I get up to the steps, I will go back to the first video, have a look what time it was and compare it, and then let you guys know. And I thought I'd include a few photographs from the day.